I'm a person who work out, also connecting with people. I'm more on the not like person to person. So, for example, my fiance is very good on social media. She connects amazingly in social media with a lot of different people. So, find your best strategy. For me, is people to people. One person actually it led me to another person, and that person it was actually through him we've been able to create a huge organization.
Welcome to MLM Nation, a podcast of leaders, by leaders, for leaders, hosted by Simon Chan. He's built a team of over 200,000 and is now a full-time MLM coach and trainer. So if you're ready to level up your business, join us now. Let's do this.
MLM Nation, this is Simon Chan. I'm fired up to bring our special guest today. This is someone that I call a dear friend. I've had the honor to coach him twice. First, when he was just getting started with online marketing, and then now getting him to see him to get to the multiple six-figure level. Someone hung out with him in Mallorca, and actually hung out with him in Hawaii, of all places. He is from a tiny little island, Mallorca, Spain. We have Javier De Miguel Col. Hey, Javi, are you ready to make it happen?
Hey, Simon, I'm extremely excited to be in this call today.
Javi De Miguel Col was working various jobs before he got introduced to network marketing 9 years ago. Today, he's a six-figure earner with a global team of over 19,000 active customers. He has personally mentored 6 of the 24 six-figure earners on his team. He's from tiny Mallorca, Spain, and this is the second time on MLM Nation podcast. He was first on episode 654 when he just got started. Anyway, Javi, welcome to the show. But take us to your background. And we talked a lot in Hawaii on the car ride. How did you get started in network marketing?
So say again, thank you very much, Simon, for inviting me to be in this call today. Because I always say I'm so grateful with the MLM Nation podcast. I remember when I was getting started, putting my headphones at the gym. I was using a lot at the gym to work when I was working out, and then listen to different leaders and hearing all the success stories, hearing how they were doing. And I was trying to capture everything, and then being able to be coached by you multiple times already. Also spend a good time with you in Hawaii, and as you say as well, consider like a very good friend. And looking forward for what is happening in the future with the industry, and also with everything that you guys are launching with amazing value creator in the industry. So as I say, I'm from Mallorca, a small island in the Mediterranean Sea. I'm actually the fourth of 4 kids. My parents divorced when I was 6. If you guys been through breakthroughs and things like this, some kids take it like different levels, different ways. I actually personally, I start getting obsessed with food. So I start getting chubbier and chubbier and chubbier. Also, my learning abilities, it was actually slower. So I always say it was the best in the school from the bottom. I was not the greatest. But that also teaches me a lot. That it's not what people say about you, is what you believe about you is going to determine where you're going to end it up. I had the opportunity to move to the US when I was 17. I did my high school there. That was the first time I was got exposed about this industry. I became very, very negative for over 8 years. And then I traveled a little bit. I love traveling. So I was like, okay, how I can have some financial success and I can travel. And I decided to become a pilot. I decided to start study a pilot, but in order to pay all my courses, I was working in multiple jobs, as a waiter, as beat clubs, nightclubs, because at the end of the day, it was kind of like easy money when it comes to a student. And then also I used to enjoy a lot the party scenes. So when I was studying, I actually started feeling, I don't know if some of you guys can relate with this. I started feeling where I was going, it was not going to bring me the life I desire. So I wanted to become entrepreneur, but I didn't know where to start. And I started looking different options. I want to become this nomad or whatever you say, right? And so I started looking different things, and it's so funny. Everything started dragging me more and more into this profession. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a look and really listen what is all this about, because I have an idea of what is this industry, but I don't really know what really is. So I actually do my diligence. I start looking at this profession. I really fall in love, because one of the things that really caught my attention, I was reading the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he actually was saying this industry is the best way to start entrepreneurship path. And for me, I was like, okay, I have over 20,000 euros in debt through my studies. So I'm not doing so well financially. This guy is a multi-millionaire, and he told me this industry is the best way to start. So actually, that was kind of like a good push for me to start digging into more. And then I fall in love. During that time, I met a person who right now is one of my best friends. He invited me over to have a look into this, into the company I'm part of, and now we've been building this company the last 8 years.
That's awesome. So you finally got started because you saw that it was a way for you to do a lot of things you wanted to do. But what? How did you do when you first started? What happened?
So when I started, I say I had the best way to start. I have such an amazing success. I enter, I call a friend of mine. He joined immediately. Then I call another friend. He joined immediately. And then they called two friends, and it was like 4 people on the team, then 100 people in the team, then 100,000 people in the team. And I bought my Lambo. And of course, this is a lie. That's not how it happened. Actually, it took me 4 months to make my first $20 in this profession. So I first of all, I actually called a friend, and I didn't know how to do it. My actually the first time when I joined a joint company, my sponsor quit, so I had no idea. I learned from YouTube, and then I actually learned everything a person was doing in a presentation. And I sit down on my car, on the friend's car, because he came to pick me up because we were going for dinner and we were going to have talk about this amazing business idea. And I was not able to be quiet and say everything in the car. And he actually say, okay, we actually didn't even went for dinner. We just sit down in the car and talk. And then he left. And then immediately he got home and he texts all my friends that I was involved in a scam, and I was going to try to reach them. And immediately all my warm list, it was completely burned out the first day. And my family also, and so it took me 4 months to make the first $20. And actually, it's so funny because I was sure about this story, because for me, the first $20, it was really impactful because I see the potential and I saw it was possible. I remember was living in Madrid, and then I flew to Mallorca. I was in my mom's house, and I remember opening the app, and then I see the first $20, and I start jumping and clapping and really got so excited. And my mom came and was like, "What happened? You won the lottery or something?" And I was like, "No, no, look, mom, $20." And super sarcastic. We have such a great connection and relationship. And it was like she opened her purse, she gave me a 20 euros and say, keep the change. 20 euros is more than $20. And actually, I remember saying to her, no, mom, you don't understand. Because if I can do it one time, I can do 1,000 times. That means $20,000. And you know what? Funny enough, exactly 4 years later, in exactly the same month, I made my first $20 month inside this profession. So I would say we have to see the invisible to acquire the impossible for most people.
What do you mean by that? You have to see the invisible. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
because because most of the times when we start, we have to do activities. It feels like nothing is happening. You're doing calls, you're doing meetings, you see all the actions. It seems like invisible results. And what is happening is actually you're growing, you're learning, you're developing skill sets. You also work in your craft so you can develop and become a better leader and better person, because I really truly believe nothing happened for you, happening for you in order to grow. And for me, that experience, it took me 4 months to make my first $20. I'm so grateful for it, because also it helped me to develop the skills, some different skills. And then also looking back right now, all the challenges has been through learning processes to upload my curve.
When your friends said that you are doing a scam, and a lot of your friends kind of stayed away from you, Why did you not quit? Why did you keep on going?
Um, I recruit myself. When it comes to, as I say, I was very negative for many years. I read about the industry. I saw very people I really admire, right? Richard Branson talking about this industry. I saw Tony Robbins talking about this industry. I saw Robert Kiyosaki talking about this industry. I started seeing on the endorsements, and I was like, okay, you know what? Anything that you start and you're new at, you're gonna be bad at it. So for me, it was like, okay, I don't care how I start. And as I was explaining a little bit my story, it was not the first time people say to me before I was not going to be able to do something. And then actually for me, it motivates me more when people say I was not going to be able to do it to say, okay, I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. So maybe a little bit of my ego and my pride came in the way. So actually, sometimes we have to be happy of that ego and that pride if it is moving the right direction, right?
So what was the turning point? You only made $20 for 4 months. What happened when you finally, what's the light bulb moment that you finally started getting it and starting getting results?
Yeah. So, long story short, I kissed two frogs in order to find my princess. I was in a company. The company closed down. Actually, it's so funny because we start as I was playing. It took me 4 months for first it's 20. Then we went to an event and we saw the possibility of that you know, of this industry. And we see people going up the States and talking about the lifestyle that we're having, the trips and then the time freedom and all the things. And it was like, wow, I've never seen anything like this. I was like, we were so excited. And together with a couple of friends, we actually, talk with one of the people on the sponsor line and say, hey, we're going to do an event in Madrid with over 100 people. And we were starting, we have no team, we have nothing. And then together, we actually managed to bring 120 people in together in one room. We were going crazy. We were going to stop people on the streets. We were talking to everybody. Like we were like, just get to this room and you will understand. So we actually were able in 1 month from not partners, we were like 2 or 3 people to take it to 150 people in a room in only 1 month. And, things we thought that was going to be a rocket moment, right? After this, it's going to be insane. And, we were doing some events. We start having some results. We start getting, the first 200, 300 euros, 400 euros. And we're like, woohoo, you feel like this is actually working. And then, I was in the middle of a meeting and I start getting calls from, different uplines and sidelines and I start, and I was like, okay, what are they calling me? I was about to start a meeting. And then I pick up the phone and I say, hey, what's up? What is going on? I'm actually about to start a whole meeting. And they say, the company closed down. And I was like, what? Yeah, the company closed down. So we are out of business. And I remember I get in front of the people and I say, hey, is this amazing industry? It's called direct sales. And this is how it works. And let's have fun. That's it. So I was like, okay, how I ended up here. And then from there, we ended up joining another company. I'm super blessed. I didn't connect with the products. I didn't connect with the company mission and vision, but actually I connect with the person and my mentor who introduced me to the company I'm with, a part of. And actually thanks to that part, it connected me to the company I'm like right now part of for the last 8 years. And then when I started with this company, for me, I was like, okay, I already have 2 failures. Is this really for me? Is really this is going to be happening? I start grabbing a bit of success, and then actually everything falls apart. And then from there, I was okay. I'm going to take all the good lessons, and I'm going to try one more time because I understand you can be in bad relationships, but that doesn't mean you're going to stop dating if you didn't find the one. So I say, okay, this time I didn't need to. I didn't quit my jobs. I didn't quit my studies. So I was like, okay, at least I'm not. You know, I'm not going to the wrong path. You know what I mean? So I'm continuing my life. So I actually start being very, very honest and very transparent with the people and say, hey, I actually found out this company. I really like about these products. If you like it, good. If not, good. But this is what we're going to do. And I think people feel that certainty of what I was going to do and what I was passionate about. Actually, in less than 4 months, I was able to go to quit my job after a year. Since I started, I was able to go full time, and now it's been over 7 years full time with with the industry.
You mentioned your mentor a lot, and I know your mentor, Marco, and obviously you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him today. What was one of the biggest lessons you learned from Marco?
I think tough love. Tough love is, I think, is super important because so many times we see the potential in people and we are not direct. And then also, like, I don't know, I don't have experience. You do. You have amazing kids. And I guess when you're a parent, sometimes you have to say things to your kids that is hurtful for you, but you doing the good for them. And many times in this industry, see that because we're afraid to lose people, that we don't say what we really the people need in order to make a change, a breakthrough. And I think for me to be more confident and more loud and actually see and being able to speak up on people when they need to go through a different path because it's going to cross it. Now, I would say it's like, for example, let's say that you have a friend, a very good friend. He's going to, get into the car completely drunk. You're not going to be allowed. You're not going to allow them to drive drunk, right? If it's needed, you're going to fight them because if you truly love them, you're not going to be allow them to jump into that car and drive drunk. So same thing here. Many times we let our teams to drive drunk their business. And just because you're afraid to lose them, we're not saying the total truth.
What was the time when your mentor gave you tough love and maybe even like hurt you or made you angry?
How many times? I think we have a good relationship, like a brotherhood, instead of like this. As I say, it's like a big brother. We like have the same age as my sister, so we kind of like yeah. See many areas.
Can you give me an example? Like, but you're grateful for it. Maybe at that moment you were angry, but now you're so grateful because it made you better.
Yeah, I think one of the times actually I had to rebuild my even I was full time. I think I rebuilt my business over 11 to 13 times, and I actually like we all do. We call bitching and whining. "Oh, I don't know why it's not working. Blah blah blah. Always if I have people like me, typical things. And he'll say, you know what? Who's the person? He's always in the same scenario. It's always you. And you know what? Because you're becoming the obstacle. That's why you are not growing. So stop being this obstacle and stop being the way. And for me, that it hurts at first because I was like, I know I'm losing, I'm inviting, I'm recruiting. It's these people the fault? It's like, yeah, but you are the person who's in the scenario all the time. So why instead of looking outwards, you start looking inwards and see where you can do better? And at that time, it hurts because, you know how it is. Like you build, it falls down, it builds, it falls down. You're sensitive in that moment. Especially, Spanish, Latin, Latin blog, like we get some, maybe some extra emotional things. And then when, saying, this is not working, this is not happening, I'm building and this, putting all the efforts and it comes to like this. I was like a big slap. But actually, right now, I'm so grateful because always I'm reflecting and like, okay, how I'm actually on the way of growth instead of why is blaming outside, as we always say, right? One finger pointing outside, three fingers pointing in the inside.
I remember when we first met, you were full time and we did coaching, and that was a couple of years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. And now you're multiple six figures. How have you? In what areas have you grown as a leader, or in general, in the last year?
One thing actually, this year I've been more and more focused, and I think I have to thank you as well for this conversation about being more specific about goal settings in multiple areas. Because also in this amazing profession, we teach so much on the building part, but also how we structure, how we build a vision to create real wealth. So, for example, putting actually as a plan goals and in any different areas. And I think this year has been a lot focus on this, and it has changed a lot. How many things has been happening because if not, you move through emotion. And now I'm actually, the more I see this, I see a company never gonna have like only like 1 month, 3 months, or 5 month plans. They're gonna have a 1 year, 3 year, 5 years, 10 year plan, and plan A, plan B, and plan C, how to go to the end goal. And I actually start zooming out more in that sense because at the end of the day, it's our responsibility. And I actually, if we start thinking bigger, we're gonna have been able to acquire much more, and we are blocking so much, so many times. Makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Having the vision. I still remember having a conversation on the beach in Hawaii. The, all leaders, they're very consistent. How do you stay consistent?
Consistency, I think, is everything, and you are the master of consistency. And I think we're always consistent. Sometimes we want to be inconsistent. So we are consistent things, and actually we need to look where it's on the daily basis that we're doing in order to grow our businesses. And sometimes it's not fun. It's most of the times it's not fun doing certain activities, but that's why we talk about where you're going. It's super important to have a clear big vision of what you need to, where you're going and what you need to do every single day in order to achieve this. And of course, many times, you have that thoughts and that ideas and that voices is gonna try to win you over. But at the end of the day, it's that conversations, that voices that you need to stop them, or at least cast them, and then say, okay, at the end of the day, this is where I'm going. I know I need to do this, and consistently doing the things that you say you will do. And what happens once you get more consistent doing things, you're also going to get more confidence. When you get more confidence, you're going to get better. And also once you get better, also your results get better. So it's all like ripple effect of positive things. But what happens if you're not consistent, then all the way around is going to happen. Then you're going to self-sabotage yourself. You say, oh, no, oh, I cannot do it. I cannot continue to have like, I cannot even say a word to myself and commit it to do something. So your self-image low and your activity lowers, and then at the day you have less results. So at the end of the day, I think consistency is the key of everything.
Hey, you've been awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. As we go towards the end of the show, some quick questions to pick your brain. So the first one is, what is one of your favorite success quotes that motivates you?
Lately I've been more in the fail big, fail fast, fail forward.
What is one habit that's helped you become successful?
Always talking with new people, having new conversations. New people is going to kill all problems.
What's the best piece of advice you ever received?
If I was brand new, listen to the people who had the result that you want to have, and do the actions, do the activity. The people who had experience is telling you the reasons, the things, because it works, not because it wants to sound good. And also recruit yourself. Number one, you need to recruit yourself.
What do you mean? You mentioned this a second time, recruiting yourself. What do you mean you have to recruit yourself?
So what I mean with this, you need to make the decision that no matter what, you're going to make it happen. Many people just jump in this profession and they say, okay, I'm going to give it a try. Let's see how it goes. But they are having hopes, and to call a friend, the friend say, okay, I join. And that's why they continue doing it. But that's why we need to make the decision and recruit ourselves to say, okay, I'm going to make it happen no matter what. I'm going to learn the skills. I'm going to, make the sacrifice in order to become successful. Because at the end of the day, anybody can be successful in this profession if we learn the skills, put the time, and we're consistent on the daily basis.
What's your favorite prospecting tool? Or say someone's qualified prospect. Do you like to meet with them? Do you do a face-to-face Zoom with them? Do you send them a video? What do you like to do?
Zoom and face to face. If I have the possibility to have face to face, or if not, Zoom, because teams are spread out.
What's your favorite app on your phone that's not a social media app?
Oh, yeah, but it's like WhatsApp is a social media app. I think Notes.
Hmm.
Notes
That's
is
it.
getting one of my favorites.
What are 2 or 3 books you could recommend to MLM Nation?
The Magic of Thinking Big, for sure, is gonna be one. For me, as I say, one of the things is it helped me a lot in this profession. Actually, to jump in this profession, I think reads up or that. That's going to be also an amazing. And then also learning the basic skills in this profession, either with GoPro, either with making the first talk work, or some titles of the profession, so you can develop the skill sets.
Right now, it's December 2024, New Year's approaching. If one of the listeners was in your downline, how would you tell them to plan ahead for this year in terms of goal setting and the vision? What advice could you give them?
So one thing I actually have been doing a lot now when it comes to goal setting. First of all, do a list of all the energy drainers that you have in your life. So all the easy things like, for example, I don't know if it's Netflix, if it's, I don't know, Disney Plus, if it's, all the things it can go along your way. And actually, I learned this through a very stoic idea, because when actually they were into battle, they were looking what was the worst scenario can happen, and they can fight that scenario. So also, when you go through a new year, what is going to be the things that's going to stand in your way in order to win big this year? Because many people, when we start a new year, we have the hopes, the aspirations, the excitement of a new year. But after 3 weeks, most of the people quit. That's why most people, like, we know what we need to do in order to be healthy and have a good physique. We know what we need to do in order to have a good relationship. We know what we need to do in order to have a good business. But the thing, we're inconsistent doing this because our self-image, and also we lacking the preparation, because we think motivation is always going to be there, but motivation is going to get you started, but you need that consistency to keep you moving forward every single day. So looking what the things are going to try to take your energy, what the things is going to try to have you lose, and how you're going to win that part. Then once you know all the things is going to take your time, how you're going to fight that battle, that thing is going to stop you, then start looking on what you want to do, being divided by seasons. So we have different seasons, and then you need to know exactly, okay, in order to hit my 3 months goal, I need to do the XY activities, and these things needs to happen. And what if it doesn't happen, and adjust them. But having a structure of plans along the way, or maybe seasons along the way, and we are doing a lot through 3 months after 3 months, so 90-day processes.
And here's the last question, the $1,000,000 question. If you were to start all over again and you knew no one, but you get all your current knowledge, skills, and wisdom, what's the first thing you do or the first place you go to find prospects and build a network marketing business from scratch?
So actually, we basically are doing this because I'm starting a new line, and also we start a new market. As you were saying, I'm from Mallorca, partially live in Dubai and Mallorca, but we are in Mexico. And we actually had developed a team the last year from 0 to 2,000 people in the last year. And how we've been able to do it by meeting people in multiple areas. So, for example, I'm a person who work out, also, connecting with people. I'm more on the um, not like person to person. So, for example, my fiance is very good on social media. She connects amazingly in social media with a lot of different people. So, find your best strategy. For me, is people to people. One person actually it led me to another person, and that person, it was actually through him we've been able to create a huge organization.
As we wrap up, any last words of advice? And then what's the best way our listeners can connect with you, Javi?
Best words of advice, as I said before, felt big, felt a lot, and felt forward. Because at the end of the day, as we talked before, things happen for you in order to grow and develop. And remember that challenge is happening. It's happening because you can actually win that battle. So go out there and win that battle. And the best way you can connect, You can connect with me on social media, on Instagram and Facebook. Will be the best ways.
MLM Nation, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And today, you'll be hanging out with Javier De Miguel Col. So keep up the momentum. Head over to MLMNation.com. Click on the podcast tab and the show notes with all the nuggets of wisdom that Javi shared, the books he recommended. We have a summary, the outline will be all right there. And definitely go connect with them on social media. In order to be successful in life, in business, and in network marketing, you must help others. So, Javi, thanks again for sharing your valuable time with MLM Nation. We're grateful to you, and we appreciate you for having a positive impact on millions of distributors worldwide. Thank you so much again, and God bless you. Hey, MLM Nation, Simon Chan. A great episode from Javi. I'm super proud of him. You know, people who are successful take action. I was reading this book, a great book called The 12-Week Plan, right? 12-week plan. Like most people plan for the year, but if people are successful, they plan in shorter duration increments because it's not about knowledge. It's about not what you learn. It's about how quickly you can implement what you learn and put into action that determines your success. And I remember this was 2020, not 2000, 2020, during the COVID year. Javi was building mostly all before that, all face-to-face. And then COVID happened and people couldn't meet face-to-face. And he wanted to build online and he reached out to me. I remember he applied for coaching and I said that, you know what, I actually have a couple questions. I want to talk to you. And he immediately scheduled a call like 4 a.m. his time, something like that, to talk to me. I was like, whoa, my goodness, this guy takes action. And then we talked. Eventually, I accepted him. We did coaching. He got to a 6-figure. And then recently, last year, he did coaching again and got him to another level. And he just hit his big rank advancement in November. And his team is just blowing up. And, you know, successful people invest in themselves, right? You talk about recruiting yourself. Would you recruit yourself? And if you say, no, I'm not sure, then that's why you are stuck. You gotta have that vision of where you're going. The vision will make you do the things you don't want to do. You have to be able to have the vision of who you are. You're the leader, then you're going to do it. You are going to stay consistent. So even if people say no to you, people quit on you, you're going to keep going, right? You talked about building or rebuilding. Leaders all rebuild. He had to rebuild 11 to 13 times. I think everyone wants a quick recipe to success, like get rich quick. We tell people this is not get rich quick, but most of us, if you look at your activities, is it get rich quick? You just want do some activity, get instant results. And that's employee mindset. Employee mindset is you train time for money. If you work 8 hours, you should get paid 8 hours. You know, entrepreneur is working 4 months and getting paid $20. You're going to get underpaid. Network marketers, you're going to get be very underpaid. MLM Nation, you are going to be underpaid. You will be severely underpaid in the beginning so that you can be overpaid for the rest of your life. You know, Javi works hard, but he's getting paid really, really well right now. I have multiple 6 figures. Definitely getting paid way more than he's putting in. But that's because of all the times that you did, right? For me, I still get paid a 6-figure residual. Haven't done anything in 11 years. Still get paid 6 figures, doing nothing. You know, I tell my kids that. Like I get just teachers. They love their teachers. They work so hard. I get paid way more than they do for not doing anything. But before you're born, I worked my butt off for 10 years to have that 6-figure residual. And that's what an entrepreneur is. And sometimes we need like that tough love. So everyone here, you need someone that gives you tough love. Not afraid that you're going to quit. If you have an upline that always pampers and say yes to you, that's not the person you want. You want a person that's going to say, you're terrible. Get going. Stop whining and complaining. Go do it. Not tell you what you want to hear, but tell you what you need to hear. That's the difference. My mentors, I always give him a shout out. Steve Schwartz, again. He told me what I needed to hear. I didn't like it. I was angry at him. I didn't like him. But looking back, I'm so grateful. We're very close friends to this day. 21 years later, good friends. Because he told me what I needed to hear, not what I wanted to hear. So you need to have that because we're human. We slack off. Or you want to be Olympian? You want to make big money? You need to invest in yourself. You need someone that gives you that tough love. Javi had that tough love. Right? You go find an upline. If it's not your upline, the upline. Someone up there. Go hire a coach. You need to find someone that gives you that tough love. Right? You can see if you can be a part of our consistency champions. I'll give you the tough love if I accept you. But you need to find someone. whether it's me or someone else, because if you're not willing to invest in yourself, then why would someone trust and join you? That's your lack of vision, right? If you're scared that I'm going to invest in myself, I'm going to lose, then you don't have a good vision of yourself. How are you going to be successful? How are you expect people to join you? And like Javi says, you have to recruit yourself. So that's what I have. Go out there. It's the end of the year. Focus on your goals. Think about the person, more importantly, not just the goals, but who you need to be. And stop being that person right now. You got to be before you become. Hey, thanks again to Javi. Make sure you just subscribe and leave us a review. Really, really appreciate it. Definitely go follow Javi as well. Go visit MLM Nation. Follow him. He's been doing incredible things. And he's working on some exciting things too with his social media. A lot of value. So make sure you go follow him. And that's it. I'm fired up. Go out there and take action on what you learned. If there's nothing, take action. I'll give you a couple. Number one, recruit yourself. Be that leader that people would join. And number two is find someone that gives you that tough love. Hey, everyone, go apply that and have a positive impact on someone's life. God bless. Have an amazing holiday season.